Hello, I'm James Goulding, editor of Technology Reseller magazine, and today I'm talking to Voip Unlimited, a wholesale provider of UC and connectivity products and services. With me I've got Managing Director Mark Pillow and Head of Sales Paul Gibbs. Mark and Paul, welcome. Thank you for coming.
Hi, James.
Hi, James.
Good to have you here. But perhaps, Mark, if you could start off by giving us a quick overview of Voip Unlimited.
Yeah, sure. Voip Unlimited was established in 2006 by myself. We're a very, very technical company. We have our own network, voice and data network. We provide Ethernet services, broadband, SIP, UCAS, literally anything that connects anything to anything, we provide it.
Very good. And I suppose that the sort of key thing in there is that you have your own IP network. What are the benefits of that?
We're sort of in a minority now of people that own and run their own network, James. And I think the benefits for resellers and potential new channel partners is the fact that because we own and run our own network, we can build products and services, not on request, obviously, but we can shape them to go along with market changes, and sort of market tailwinds. So we sort of look at what's happening in the market, what the requirement is, and we work with the resellers to try and build products that are sort of probably slightly different from the norm.
So you've got all that sort of technical capability in-house, but then you've also got the sort of team of developers, have you?
Yeah, that's his arena.
Yeah, we run our own dev team, we run our own voice developers, our own web developers, our own platform developers, we've got our own network engineers, sysadmins, DevOps, the whole kit and caboodle basically. My provisioning manager's been with me, she's got over 25 years experience, she's been with me for 16 years now. She knows the industry like the back of her hand as well. So number porting, we are our own provider when it comes to number porting, so we run our own porting codes. And we can pretty much do whatever is required from us in the industry.
And another sort of benefit or strength of yours is this broad offering, so that you're a sort of one-stop shop.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things and the biggest, the feedback we're hearing from when we go and see new partners and our existing resellers sort of really like this is the fact we've got one portal. That one portal serves all of our products, which really does differentiate us, because you'd be amazed that, and it comes along with acquisition. People buying different people, they might go to different portals. With us, you don't have to do that. We spent a lot of time, building APIs into certain providers and making sure that our customers can really self-serve. So I think, your vision is to have that sort of, you can trade with us on our portal any time of the day, and you don't really need, I don't want to, there's certain people out there that have really majored on self-serve. We want our portal to be self-serve, but we don't want to lose that, the sort of, the personal touch really, because we're not the biggest company, but I think people like the fact that they can trade with us with a sort of on an enterprise portal. They can get all the products and services, but someone's at the end of the phone. They can phone me up, they can phone Mark up, they can phone anyone in the organisation, and we'll pick up the phone and have a chat with them. And I think that is in this day and age, is a big differentiator.
Are you expanding your sort of reseller base then?
Yes, very much so. It's been quite aggressive, I think, our change. We've got an awful lot of, we're a channel only business, and I think that historically that's been built around the dealer channel. So people that trade with us, so IT companies that come to us, and we deal with them as a dealer. But the channel partners, the reseller, the wholesale community, is really what we've built our portal for. And that's really grown exponentially. I don't know what the percentage is, but it's a good percentage. Sort of since just before and since I joined, we've recruited sort of double-digit reseller growth every single month, which is fantastic for us. And it's balancing those. It's balancing that so we don't lose that personal touch, but we recruit the right resellers. And I think, if you ask any of them, I'd hope that they'd say, they really appreciate the fact that we work with them, and it's what I think is probably got a bit lost in the last few years is true partnership.
And is that sort of recruitment coming because Voip Unlimited's name is becoming better known, or is it just because sort of the trends in the market have made sort of connectivity so sort of fundamental?
I think it's a bit of both, isn't it, really? I mean, we're sort of pushing it now, and the trends are changing. We obviously have, as Paul mentioned, we have the portal, so you can literally go on to 2 o'clock in the morning and build a customer in 10 minutes if you want to, move numbers around, do whatever you want to do, order an Ethernet service in your own time, or 9 o'clock, or even 6 o'clock in the morning, ring the support team sort of thing. So it's about sort of putting all the stuff in there to make the resellers' lives easier.
I think brand awareness was a big thing for me because, I'm probably one of the newer recruits to Voip Unlimited. I feel like I've been there forever, but I've sort of 9 months in now. But I think brand awareness was a big thing. People's perception of what we were, what we did, and who we were was probably not correct, to be honest. So we spent a lot of time on shaping our outward offering, making sure people understood that, making sure that they understood that we're a channel-only wholesale provider, and the products and services that we can offer, in one place, and that's quite a challenge. We've spent a lot of money on sort of advertising and events, and but we're starting to reap the rewards now, which I'm very grateful for.
And meanwhile, obviously technology advances, and so you continually adding to your portfolio of solutions.
Oh yes, we've got a lot of products in the pipeline at the moment in development. Just obviously looking at where the trends are. We've had a couple of resellers we're quite close to, and we're sort of asking them what they need in the market, what they're sort of seeing sort of trends in and everything else, and we're sort of playing around with technology. And we always like to push technology to its limit, sort of thing. I mean, I love my day-to-day job is learning. I love to learn continuously, and any projects and deals that resellers bring to us that are difficult. So we like the difficult things out there. We do some really odd projects, don't we? Which are enjoyable.
We do, yeah. And I think that the oddities are perhaps we're becoming quite good at making the perceived difficult products easy to consume and most importantly, easy to sell. So, things like AI, massively talked about at the moment. But, we've got 2 projects running with 2 separate AI companies. And I think when we bring that to the market, the feedback we're getting is from both of those is, oh, that's a really good idea. We can really sell that to our market. So we've done it quite deliberately, but perhaps we've actually held it back a little bit so as we can get it into our portal and it's done correctly. Everyone's talking about AI, but we started working on it a long time ago, and I think that the resellers will really like what we bring out.
That sounds interesting. Can you give any time scale of when that might hit the market?
I'm going to say weeks. You're going to say months, aren't you?
Yeah, sales or technical, depends which you talk to. So. We're probably looking at. I think one of the products will be out this year, but it would just obviously trying to get it in. It has to work. Has to be at 100%. So we don't let anything out the door until I'm happy with it, basically.
Yeah. And was that sort of was that initiated by requests from reseller partners, or was it something you developed in house?
I think, from my point of view, I think, listening to the market, that there was a lot of talk about, Copilot, ChatGPT, and everyone was like, oh, that AI is that. And actually, AI is its thing, and it's how it's put into an application and delivered to make it a product. So you don't spend a lot of time and money, frankly, wasting time and money, bringing a product to market that's of no use to anyone. And it may look good, but what's the good in it? So, I think both the products, I'm going to say we're going to get both out this year. Because I think we will.
I think we will. Good luck then.
Yeah. But I think, that they do different things, but they'll fit into resellers' portfolio and enable them to offer a consumable AI product set to their end users, and it's easy for them to consume from us.
And again, once people start playing with those products and everything else, we're expecting spin-offs. So we're expecting, how about we do this? How about we do that? And we're expecting sort of some mini projects to come off the back of that for specific resellers and maybe specific customer requirements.
Which you'll be able to deliver with your in-house capabilities. And on the mobile side, are you developing, because I think you offer mobile SIMs, don't you, or airtime. Are you expanding?
We're about to start offering mobile SIMs. We're playing in the market with a couple of bits and pieces, which are different to the current offerings out there. There's the commercial element we're looking at, and obviously the technical element as well. So we're just trying to get both to marry up to give us something that's of actually any use to anybody. Because at the moment, yes, sometimes commercially they're not. It's not consumable.
It's a hugely commoditized market as well, James. You know, that's one of the biggest things that, you know, we've probably talked about, is the fact that, is it worth it? You know, if we bought out just SIMs, we're very late to the party, right? So we might get some traction. You know, we'll be one of a few partners that are doing it the way we're going to do it. But it's about the applications and how you deliver it and the verticals you put those into. So I think we've thought long and hard about that and how we bring it to the market. So yeah, excited to get going with that. Mark just keeps me on the straight and narrow of when it's coming out.
Can I sell it? Can I
sell
it?
Can I sell
what
about now? And now?
And so are your sort of resellers, are they sort of some of them new to connectivity and comms?
No. I think I've used the commoditization word once already, but it is a hugely commoditized market. So for us, it's really important to be competitive. So to answer your question, very few have not done all of these things we're talking about before, because they're in that market. They are technology resellers, where I think the dealer arm of our business is quite good. And again, we're one of very few now. You know, we've got hundreds of dealers, but actually we're in a very small space that still offer that dealer offering, because it's quite labour intensive for us, because we have to do a lot of the work with them and perhaps for them. But so some of them don't want to sell those products. They're like, I don't want to get involved in the Ethernet. I don't want to get in mobile. But they have a relationship with an end user, and it's about wallet share, revenue recognition. So, you know, why don't I, if I've got a great relationship, why don't I sell him these 3 products that I've never sold before? Because we'll do a lot of that work for them. So from the dealer side, I think, perhaps they haven't done it or they don't want to do it. But yeah, from the reseller side, they're quite, they're long in the tooth, and they know what they want, and they know how they want to consume it.
I also think from the dealer side as well, they recognise the fact that if they don't sell them,
someone else will.
Someone else will sell them, and
100%.
then they'll try and cross-sell their products into them again. So by offering everything, they keep the customer quite sticky.
Yeah.
And having the sort of UC solutions, that must be a big sort of driver at the moment.
Hugely important, I think, to have it, because again, it's very competitive. We've seen a lot of very successful providers out there, but I think now perhaps that market is at one point there was something like 130 hosted telephony providers in the UK, so you can imagine the carnage that unfolds with that. Now people are very they know what they want, they know the price point that it needs to be at. So for us, again, it's working at a technical level with the underlying software that we use to make sure that the resellers can shape it into a saleable product. And that's one of the biggest feedback points that we get on our products, is the fact that it is very saleable. The aesthetics of it, the UI is very good, and again, they can do everything off one place. So yeah, I think being in a competitive marketplace, you've got to be able to stand out, and that I know it sounds silly, but it's what it integrates with, what the future looks like, and so we've worked quite sort of long and hard to make sure the product we bring to market is good.
And presumably your resellers will have transferred most of their customers onto a hosted solution already.
Yeah, I think, listen, I talk about this, I've talked about this a few times, but I think to an extent, the end user sometimes gets forgotten about in this transaction, but what it means is a lot of the end users have been around the hosted telephony carousel a lot of times. So as resellers, they might have a partnership with probably 2 providers. So it's about making sure that partnership doesn't stagnate. So if your current provider isn't working on a solid roadmap, they're not looking at what future look like. Then that gets found out because the end user suddenly is like, well, does yours do this? Does it do that? So I think the resellers have seen a lot of the providers out there, but I'm proud to say that our solution is not only award winning, but we're adopting a lot of we're winning a lot of resellers based on the product itself. So yeah, it's an exciting time.
So one of the strengths of Voip Unlimited is its broad sort of product and services offering, but within that you also provide choice, don't you?
So we offer multiple, so on our UC platforms, we have 2 UC platforms, and we have, I think, 4 SIP platforms, 4 SIP trunking platforms. Right. So we don't necessarily say, right, this is it, this is what you need to fit into. We've looked at the market, and we've gone, actually, there's different reasons for people using different products. So we've built products to fit into those requirements. Yeah. We've looked at some of our competitors' products and thought, actually, that's quite a good idea. We'll build something similar, but we don't necessarily. In fact, we don't buy products off the shelf. We don't go and buy a platform. We build a platform to requirements, and then we occasionally have someone comes along and said, wouldn't it be good if we could do this? So yeah, we'll just add that feature to that platform, and off we go, sort of thing.
And sort of Landline Plus is something that we get asked more about, and probably the switch off is a bit of a hot topic at the moment because it's been delayed. But that delay perhaps is good for the whole market, I think, really, because actually there's a lot of education that needs to be carried out with the end user marketplace, the micro business owner. They don't really understand, and to an extent probably don't care about what's happening. They just want their business to be functional after a period of time, and the believability about, obviously a lot of people have been like, you need to take care of the switch off now. If you don't do it, it's end of days, and that's true. But I think the micro business will perhaps suffer the most because it's hard for resellers to sell to the micro business owner because the cost of sale is high, and obviously the return is low. But having a product that is easy to roll out, easy to adopt for the end user, and is really, you can transition your product set. If you're running a hairdresser and you've got a couple of decked phones, don't worry about it. We can plug those in, and there'll be a small switch over, and that's it. So making that easy to sell outwardly is really important. And I suppose us as a reseller marketplace, it's really important for us to sort of educate, I suppose, the end user that it's not a big thing.
So how are you helping resellers hit that long tail of very small businesses?
Again, it's awareness, James. It's awareness of, did you know we've got a product that does this? No, a lot of them don't, and perhaps haven't wanted to spend the time in researching that. But it's funny because all the reseller owners will go and get their hair cut at probably the same place every month, and they'll go to the same butchers in their local town. And I think that those businesses, just in a conversation piece, can be picked up. And I think that it is on us as a community to push that product out there, because the uptake has been, I don't think it's been as fast as the micro business end, because the micro business market is huge, but the uptake's been incredibly slow because I think believability that the switch off's going to happen, no one believes it at the smaller end. And when I think that the sort of small to medium and even enterprise, they know it's happening. They've had it rammed down their throat, but the micro business absolutely haven't. So we've built a product set that enables that, and now for us, it's we're doing a series of events over the year, but we've had that in our portfolio for over a year, and having that for over a year, it's now about getting the message out to the resellers, that did you know thing. You do know we've got this product. This is what it looks like. These are the commercials. These are the margin opportunity. So how do we help you take that to market? And that probably will come from their local community. So if they're based in a Chipping Norton or a Twickenham or somewhere like that, it's how do we get that message out into your local business community? Because they'll all attend events and things like that. So we've spent a lot of time in building marketing materials, resources that they can take out and help people to understand what's going to happen.
And so obviously the item switch off is a big sort of opportunity for resellers. Are there any others that you've noticed particularly?
I think we can't get away from AI. I think that gets talked about a lot. With Microsoft has sort of helped us along a bit. With Copilot and the messaging, the outward messaging, ChatGPT. Everyone thinks that is AI, but perhaps there's so much more you can do with it. So that's probably the next opportunity: is how do we shape business for the next 5-10 years using AI and using it to the best of its ability. So not taking away from that personal touch, but making business easier to do. How can I shape my customer experience using AI? And that's really where I think that the end user will benefit. So when I talk about the end user that is running a business, their customer experience, how do they implement AI into their business and increase or enhance their customer experience using AI? And that's where, again, we've built a lot of resource, we've spent a lot of time researching the market, and sort of now's the time where we feel comfortable to bring it to the market, because I think the understanding is sort of further forward than perhaps it was before.
So what are your sort of plans for the rest of the year?
No, I think plans for the rest of the year, we've got a big event coming up on September the 19th. So our first inaugural partner event. Very pleased to announce that. We're having that at BT Tower. So I think we'll be one of the last events before it gets turned into a hotel. That's going to be upwards of 90 partners, several different vendors, and we're doing it as a more of an innovation summit than everyone there to flog their wares, because that's not going to get you anywhere. So we're working really hard on that, as you can imagine, because that's probably, so we're inviting new partners, existing partners to attend that event and actually hear from some of the industry leaders perhaps in their field. So people are going to be talking about AI, people are going to be talking about energy, people are going to be talking about UCaaS, people are going to be talking about connectivity. Everything we do, we've tried to shape it in mobile. That's really important. So we're doing it more as I said, an innovation summit, a thought leadership summit, where people can attend, take time out of their day and come along. And that's probably the biggest thing we're working on, isn't it?
Yeah, at the moment, just harvest ideas and sort of speak to people on the ground, get a couple of resellers together who similar customer base, etc. Might not necessarily compete with each other, but sort of in similar spaces, and then actually get my management team in there and actually gain insight from what they're after, what they're seeing in the market. Are we going in the right direction? Feedback on our platforms, portals, etc., etc. And actually take on board what's going on and sort of adjust next year's plan, really.
Yeah.
Well, that's something to look forward to.
Yeah.
That's taking it up to a new level, isn't it?
For us it is. Yeah, I think it is. It's that it's how do you get an event that's perhaps not been done to death, or people are going to want to attend. And I think with the BT Tower perhaps being turned into a hotel, people, if they've not been there before, they're going to want to go. I guess that's the hook. But I'm hoping that the content that we deliver in that day will be very well received, because we're really spending a lot of time with the different vendors and the different providers to make sure that it is a
joined up event. Really,
joined up event, yeah.
Great. Thanks a lot, Mark and Paul, for giving us that update on developments at Voip Unlimited.
Pleasure. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us. Thank you.
Yeah, cheers.
It looks as though there's a lot happening at the company and a lot to look forward to later in the year. lots of new products being launched. So once again, Mark and Paul, thank you very much.